You're listening to What Up Baltimore online radio. When there's no music, there's a show. When there's no show, there's music. Share us with a friend and let them know that What Up Baltimore online radio is on the air. You are tuned in to What Up Baltimore online radio. Please note that the views and opinions expressed are of the host and not of LadyJ Media. Thank you and enjoy the show.
Clean getaway, that's what they would say. Take it day by day, make sure that you pray. Don't give it away, tell them this one or that one, they can't make it happen. Look at your man, he's laughing. I was full of sin, now he's bringing me in. Gave me a pen to use in my battle, now I dismantle Satan's whole castle. He came after me when I couldn't see. Took me to my knees, left me there to bleed. But the blood covered me, I still don't believe he's getting a message through a Negro like me. There must be a reason he came back for me and my enemies didn't rejoice over me. But how could this be? They still don't believe. Amongst two or three, that's all that you need. Stay focused, you'll see.
All right. Welcome to SpitFire Poetry Shutdown. I am your host, John Hansboro. Welcome to SpitFire Poetry Shutdown. We have a great show tonight. I have a wonderful sister that I'll be bringing on in just a second. SpitFire Poetry Shutdown Volume 1 and 2 is available on Amazon right now. Go get that on Amazon. Also, my book, Unusual Favor, is also available on Amazon. I hope everybody's doing good tonight. I have a very special show for us tonight. I'm very excited about this. We have a wonderful sister who has her own platform. I'll let her tell you about that. But her name is Precious Love Givens. I want to introduce everyone to Precious Love Givens. How you doing, sis?
Peace, King. Peace. I am well. My name is Grace Precious Love Givens, but Precious, I allow my family to call me Precious. You feel me? And you family, because clearly we ate together, we broke bread together. You already know my philosophy. Once we did that and we hugged, we family. You feel me?
Absolutely, sis. Absolutely.
But yes, on Facebook, that's why a lot of people get confused because it says just my middle name on there, and it's really a real funny story as to why it's only that and not my stage name or my real, my first name on there. But
I'll tell you what. Before we get into that, let me tell everyone how I met you. Grace has her own platform called Dinner for Poets. And I met her at her own platform. I came there. I've heard about it for months before I came to do some poetry there with a lot of other interesting people. And this is where I met this sister at. And the inspiration and the friendship grew from there. She's a very positive sister. Her and her mom. I met her mom as well because they both do some great cooking. I'm gonna let her tell y'all about that. But tell us a little bit about your platform, Grace, and what you do.
Yeah, so Poets for Dinner, right? It's a nonprofit organization where we specialize in feeding our community mentally, physically, spiritually, and artistically. Currently, we are hosting a end of the month, like last Sunday of every month, a physical and virtual online platform where you get a free show, a free food, free hug pre-COVID. I mean, and if you're COVID free, you can still get a hug now. But like I said, it's a free platform. The whole purpose is to knock out oppression, because I feel like that's a part of the reason why we have so many crimes, and to knock out hunger, which is, I feel like, another driving force, and to make everyone feel loved and a part of the universal family, which we really are. You know what I'm saying? Despite what your background may be, we are really more connected than we are separate. And that's what that whole platform is for, is to bring us all together.
Absolutely, absolutely. When I first came there, I was blown away, about how, first of all, the way that you fed everybody just blew me away right then and there. I felt at home as soon as I came in the door. The first person I met was your mom. And it was wonderful the way you had it set up. It just felt, me and my wife came actually. It just felt at home. It just felt, you could feel the love in the room. How long have you been doing Dinner for Poets?
In April it will be 9 years as
Wow.
officially Poets for Dinner. Prior to us becoming official, it was just a gathering, and I was actually doing it like 6 months even before then. Before I made it an official thing. Well, I should say before other people made an official thing for me.
I understand. Right, right. I understand. It's definitely something powerful what you do. I love the fact that you feed everybody and then they go ahead and get into that poetry. I'm gonna get you to do a couple pieces if you don't mind for us tonight, because I am also a fan of your work. I've been listening to you. I've been following you since I first came to your platform.
I
Um,
say.
yeah, so I would like for you to share just one or two poems. On my show is No Holds Barred. I have all types of viewers, but this is art. So when it comes to art, for me, it's no holds bar. We just go at it and we speak what we feel. You know what I mean? I believe that the words that we speak in our spoken word and in our poetry can impact somebody or can help someone that's going through something. So with that being said, if you don't mind, can we hear a couple, maybe one or two poems for you tonight?
I'm here for it, honey. I am here for it. And I am so humbled and honored that you even said that. Like, I'm a fan of you, sir. Like, you are amazing. So, for you to say that you're a fan of me, like, oh my gosh, that's humbling. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much. I definitely am a fan. Definitely.
So, the pieces I'm going to do, the first piece I want to do is actually my favorite piece. I like to perform it on every platform I do because number one, my mission in everything I do is love based. So I feel like if you can't do it out of love, it shouldn't be done. You feel me? So I make
Right.
it a point to make sure that everyone at least hears this piece because I want people to understand that just because we're not intimate doesn't mean I can't love you. You know,
Right.
people got all these excuses and reasons why they cannot like you, why they hate you or hate on you and block you from your blessings. Why can't I have no reason at all to love you? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So anyway, here we go. What if I told you that you just saved a life? That by sitting there in that very chair, you just stopped the knife from carving ruby red lines against a canvas that was never mine to design? What if I told you that single didn't mean available and taken didn't mean happy? And love wasn't quite as black and white as romance from way back BC. Sometimes love is you rolling over to a body pillow and a space heater, or you coming out of hiding only to become the seeker. So today I have to ask you, what if love was life? And anything given short of spreading love was acceptance of the alternative. And those said actions determined the kind of life that you live. What if love was the last smile the passing stranger saw before he passed away? Or the words that your pride did not give way to let you say? What if love was a hug to a familiar but nameless face? Or you stepping back to give love its space? What if love was never seeing his family but ensuring the bills got paid? Or all sleepless nights instead of worrying, she just prayed? What if love was a superheroine with an invisible cape? Or a refugee in need of an escape? What if love was being beautiful even when your surroundings didn't allow you to be? And to remain strong even though it's so much easier to be weak? And what if you define what made love true? Because reality is love doesn't compromise. However, the people in love often do. So everything that we do should be done out of love, even when we don't think it's worth it. Because love is an action to be practiced, and we all know that practice makes perfect. And each and every one of us are worth it. So again, I have to ask, what if love was life? And anything given short of spreading love was acceptance of the alternative? Would you still refuse to love on somebody and therefore refuse to live?
Thanks, sis. God damn. Wow. All right. Okay. All right. I don't even know where to begin. First off, where do you get your where does your drive come from to write? Like what do you feed off of when you're writing your poetry or when you're writing your spoken word?
Mostly emotion, I have to be honest, is really emotion, and sometimes it's information. Like when I'm overwhelmed with new information, the stuff that I'm excited by that I don't want to forget, I write it in a poem so that way I can retain it for later. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it's like positive stuff. Like I've been opening my mind up more to, affirmations and learning how to manifest the life that you want, and not necessarily just keep hitting the iron for it, but actually like mentally preparing yourself for it and stuff. So
Right.
I've been doing a lot of affirmation poetry as well lately, because as I've encountered more and more affirmations, some of them I find work better for me than others. So those are the ones I definitely try to pencil down some kind of way or form.
I've never heard of that. Affirmation poetry. I've never heard of that. Is that something that you've named, or is that a style that's out there? You know what I mean?
Now, see, now you make me feel like I should do some research, because I don't know if it's an official style, but I feel like I need to make it a style, because because we be needing it, especially nowadays. It's 2021. You know what I'm saying?
Right. There's a lot going on. That's right. That's right. That's right. Do you have anything that you can share with us from that? You said affirmation poetry.
Yes, actually. This one was my 2020 theme poem, but this is also another one of my favorite poems. And I think this is what kind of kickstarted my affirmation poetry writing. But this one is Living Legend.
Okay.
When you are a living legend, your vision don't need correction from people who are incapable of seeing the dream assigned to your journey for you to believe in. When you have been designated with a purpose, people will talk you out of your growth so they won't feel worthless. They will set fire to your ambition just to distract you from your life's mission. Be great anyway. Show up and out every day, even if the audience is just you and your mama, even when they saturate your legacy in their self-imposed drama, even when they curse you for not falling back and it seems that you are always under attack. Keep going, because there is no way in knowing whether you're on the brink of madness or greatness, so keep pushing. Even when you have run out of patience, believe me when I say, even when one door closes, there are opportunities in the hallway. Don't accept defeat as the end. Even if you have to start over again, what is meant to be will be, and what isn't was never your cup of tea. Sometimes that no was the greatest blessing of them all. For your journey is far greater than any fall, so don't concern yourself with the success of the next man, because every failure you've encountered is a part of God's plan, and I can assure you that even the turtle finishes the race at his own time and at his own pace, for there is nothing fair about favor, but there is always triumph for the spirit that refuses to waver, because then you are creating your own future and destiny. So manifest, do the work, and let it be. You are more than enough. Even when that road gets rough and them storms come knocking, there is a breakthrough that is hitting your way despite all attempts and stopping. Didn't you know you was magic? And that there's a light in you that will make people hate you because they can't have it? Baby, shine anyway. Do you think a lion loses sleep over what sheep may say? No. They just rule the jungle, rinse and repeat, so don't allow others' opinions to place your hopes on the back seat. You are a living legend, and your vision don't need no cosigner or correction.
Damn. You said so. Okay, so affirmation poetry. So that was the first poem that you wrote in that style that you call affirmation poetry.
Correct. Yeah. It was like that I wrote that literally right after I made the decision to be more affirmation based and to be more affirming to myself, because a lot of times we spend a lot of energy talking ourselves down and we don't even realize it. Like we've been programmed by other people's voices for so long, it starts to even sound like our own. We be saying like, oh, I'm never going to do it. I'm never going to make it. ain't no money in this, ain't no need in doing this. Like, you start talking yourself out of your own blessings. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I've learned that in order to counteract that, you have to be louder with blessing yourself. Every time you want to say, oh, I'm not going to make it, say, oh, I'm making it because I'm doing it now. I'm already there. Like, everything that we want to be, we already are. We're just trying to get the materialistic world around us to reflect that, but we already are.
You speaking life into somebody right now, sis. I'll tell you that. Wow. That's, oh my goodness. Okay, let me relax. Oh, wow. All right. So look, I mean that, because for me, poetry, when I write, it's therapeutic for me, right? It's,
Right.
it helps me to get through the things that I'm dealing with. You know what I mean? The first book that I wrote, my book Unusual Favor, was therapeutic because it was about some shitty type of times that me and my wife had to deal with, So with you doing the affirmation poetry, is that something that you came up with so like you said, to remind yourself of who you are and what you're capable of? Because it is easy for us as artists to start to second guess yourself just a little at times. You know what I mean? Sometimes that voice, yeah, sometimes sometimes that voice, creeps in and just takes over. And sometimes it's good for us to, look over some of the things that we've done in the past and see where we've grown or if we have grown, because sometimes that may help us, you know what I mean, to help our self-esteem. So like I said, so that's, wow, you need to trademark that, because that's something that's big right there, because poetry is so strong that it can change people, their feelings. They could be feeling a certain way. I've been to a couple of churches where I did some poetry, and it really humbled me, like, to have people come to you after and say something to you about what you said. You know what I mean? That's the most humbling thing for me. It really is. Man, okay, affirmation poetry. You starting something. You starting something right there.
Like, seriously though, because, like, all right, so what ended up putting me on the path of finding more affirmations, of working on mastering my own brain, like mastering my own mind and how I perceive the world around me and how I perceive myself in this world around me, is the fact that, like, I was really depressed. I was really, really going through a breakdown. I was about to say a breakthrough, but shoot, it turned into a breakthrough. So you might just say, you get me? So it's like, when you're going through something and all of the wrong things are so easy to grab. You know what I'm saying? It's real easy to grab a bottle and drink yourself out of it. It's real easy to sit there and try to sex your way out of it, eat your way out of it, all of those unhealthy things that are so easily accessible, right? But it doesn't change what you're going through. And I was like, no, I'm tired of going through this, so I need to do something different. And this is something I've never done before. I've never tried to believe in myself before. I've never tried to talk to myself with kindness. I've never tried to purposely and purposefully ignore the naysayers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've allowed doubt to creep in so much that I need to do something radical. You know what I'm saying? So even with the idea of, people tell you do vision boards and stuff like that, I do vision poetry. I will write in my poem that I'm going to own, my acres of land. I'm going to own my 4-bedroom house with my 3.5 beds. Like, I write that and stuff because you know how they say, words have power. Like you even just stated before, words have power. The reason why words have power and the reason why we call it spelling is because we're literally casting wishes and curses on people when we interact with anybody with our words. You know what I'm saying? So if we
wait a minute. Whoa. Hold up. Wait a minute. Whoa. You dropping some oh my God. Wow, you are dropping some dimes on me. Okay, yes. Wow. Definitely. I feel you about the spelling part. I never really looked at it like that though. You know what I mean? But that's very interesting what you just said there. You know, that's because it's so true of how when I feel I can write when I'm upset or I can write when I'm happy. It doesn't matter the type of feeling. But a lot of times when I am in a depressed state or I'm hurting or angry, I grab the pen, and it's something about it that just it just starts to like heal
Hurt.
me. You know what I mean? It
Mhm.
starts to heal me. And then especially when the words start to come together, because a lot of people think it's so easy for us to come up with the words and the metaphors and the way we put it together. And it, you know, it's not. We put a lot of work into doing that.
That's true.
So I've never really looked at it that way though, Precious, with the way that we speak words. I mean, I know we speak life, you know what I mean, when we
Right.
speak words, but to be casting a spell of positivity, I would say, on people, that is absolutely amazing. I know you got a couple more poems. Can you give me one more real fast?
Oh, of course, of course, of course. So this poem that I'm gonna do next, I actually am doing it. I'm going to read it straight from my first book that I published called Paperless Poetry. Um now
Paperless
the
Poetry. That's right. You do have a book, Paperless Poetry. Um, how many? Okay, is that your first book, or is that like a sequel or something like that?
That's Paperless Poetry is the first book. The sequel is Paperless Poetry to An Artist's Addiction. And then I have also a children's book, which is written in English and Yoruba.
Wow.
Excuse me, because I felt like the story that I wrote for the children's book, I feel like it's the story that even I don't care how old you are, you can relate to, because it's about
Right.
being overlooked and coming to find out that you're the most powerful person, even though you've been overlooked. You know what I'm saying? You can kind of see my little my theme.
Yeah, I love it though. I love it because it's nothing but strength and positivity though. You know what I mean? I love it because that is what we are lacking so much. And then with the shitty year we had in 2020, I mean, you already know it's it's so much going on. There's so many people walking around with anger and hurt and frustration. Um, so you're definitely on to something. How can people get your material?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. Oh, see, you really, really good. I like you. I like you. But you can find it any and everywhere on literally everywhere. Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Walmart. Just look up Paperless Poetry or look up Grace Precious Love Givens. Also on Poets for Dinner website, poetsfordinner.com, and you'll find it there as well.
Okay, that's right. You do have a website. And how often, by the way, do you do your dinner for poets? That's you do that monthly, correct?
Correct. Currently, we are doing it the last Sunday of every month. We're in the works of trying to acquire the means and funds to do it more often, because we're finding out that it's really needed in our community. You know what I'm saying? Just to have a free platform and somewhere to go to eat and be amongst people who are not judging you and just give you a space to express yourself. Because even if you don't do poetry, if you sing, tap dance, scream, or just got something on your mind, you know, that's the space for you. Because listen, there's been plenty of times I done walked up in there and in my mind I wanted to do a poem, but then I got on the stage like, hey y'all, I just need to talk. And I
Uh-huh.
was real, real grateful because we be open and receptive for it, you know?
Right, right. You know, I've been to your dinner for poets twice, and I'm every time I left, I felt better than I did when I went in there. Every single time. I've been there twice. And the second time I brought my wife with me. And every time I go in, I come out feeling even better than I did when I go in. And then what's the crazy part is the stories that people tell when you have, you know, all of the poets there and all of the musicians or whoever, what they do there, it's always something that grabs me. A story. It was a young lady at the last one that I was at your event that shared something about like her family and her husband and her children, and it almost brought tears to my eyes. You know what I mean? But it also at that time helped me to keep pushing because I was going through some shit myself. You know, so
Uh-huh.
it actually helped me to just keep going, and then to be surrounded by like-minded people, like you said, with no judgment. You know, at the end of all her events, y'all, she makes us all stand in a circle. You hold hands. You know, she says like a prayer. I mean, it's just nothing but love. And you're right, sis. That's what we need right now. We need a lot of that. We do. We need our children, our elderly, all of us. You know what I mean? We
I
definitely
say,
need.
I
I
say that's
definitely.
true. Our rich, our poor, and the in between, and everything. And like another reason I like it is because we kind of remove the labels. Like when you come up in there, we not looking at you like, oh, this person got money or this person broke, because money is not really a real factor there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like once you take stuff like that away and you see that we all just people trying to be people in a world that for whatever reason was made for people, but seems to be going against the people at all times.
And you
Like,
know what? Let me just say this too to the people who listening or watching. When she the food that's served there, she gives it to you for free, people, first of all. And I'm not talking about peanut butter and jelly sandwiches or or bag lunches. My sister is her and her mom are burning. They making, I'm telling you, you know, I looked at the one of the reasons why I came the first time, when I saw the menu, I said, ain't no way in hell they serve this. I got to see this for myself. I got to. And the food was amazing. Like it was just it's refreshing. It's just loving. Like I said, you got the perfect name for yourself, and then for what you do, for what you do for Dinner for Poets, it really is love. Because when you come there, you know that's what it's all about. All of us in our community know you can love on people by feeding them anyway. You know what I mean?
right.
So the theme of you doing that with the food and then giving the word is absolutely just. I appreciate you, sis. I'm telling you, I love what you do. I really do. So before I keep on ranting, let me hear one or two more poems before I let you go, because I know you're a busy sister.
I appreciate that affirmation. I really do. All right. So this poem is called Victory's Mine. And this is another like underdog. We really are, you know, the last shall be first type of poems. Okay.
Right.
Have you ever seen a silver lining in the clouds? Only realize it's smoke. And the images in the mirror are no clearer, so on tears you choke. You're questioning your faith and the point of it all, because it seems the higher you climb, the quicker you fall. Have you ever been on the edge and contemplated jumping? Realize peace is hard to come by, so it always seems like it's always something, always someone needing more than what you have to offer, always feeling like parts of you are always being bossed. Have you ever felt as if nothing you are doing is enough? The harder you try, the more the universe calls your bluff. The more you resist the temptation of selling out, the more it seems in your own power you find doubt. Well, God is as God does. And as it's been told, we are made from God's love. So God moves through shadows too. And sometimes these circumstances are to pull out the God in you. These trials are rough reminders to return you to your power, regain your composure, and keep building your tower. Climb back to the heavens Babel kept you away from. You were made to shine as bright as the sun. You were made in the image of the belief you created. So your divinity is not to be debated. These circumstances is but a stepping stone on your journey. A mere reminder that you alone are what keeps your world turning, for without your existence, it all loses powers. Just wait for your blessings, because when it rains, it showers. And I know you're in need of some healing rain to remind you it's not you, just the world that's insane. So in the meantime, don't take on others' faulty manufacturing as your own. This moment of trial is to prepare you for your throne. I know the clouds of smoke have deceived you once more. But trust me when I tell you that fresh air and opportunity are just on the other side of that door. So keep crawling until you reach a good place to stand. Don't be so eager to rush towards destruction's hand. Devise a plan and take it one step at a time. And soon enough, you'll be able to declare victory's mine.
All right. All right. Yeah. So I notice a pattern though, in all everything that you've been spitting tonight so far. Everything is positive. Everything is uplifting, to uplift someone. Do in your writing, does it help you in a therapeutic way for yourself as well?
It most definitely does. Because I don't like to just feed the disease. I like to feed the cure too. You know what I'm saying? So like even if I start writing a poem just being real sad and depressed, like even if it started out with, oh, all of the flowers are dying and the rain is drying up, I have to end it with, well, the rainbow comes to show us that there's still hope left. You know what I'm saying? Like the roots underneath the ground let you know that it's gonna rebloom. So it's like I have to do it, because if not, you'll find yourself tipping over into that dark side and getting saturated in that. You know what I'm saying? And that's not a way to live. Like you have to, no matter how hard it gets, realize that there's always light. Like darkness and shadows only exist because there's a blockage of light somewhere. So if there's light being blocked, then that means there is light.
Wow. You dropping some light on me, I tell you that. What, you know, I may ask you, you know, you've been writing most of your whole life? Have you been in love with poetry your whole life, you would say?
Definitely my whole life. From I remember one of the first poems I read, which was from, you know, Where the Sidewalk Ends, to being firstly introduced to Maya Angelou, because once I got introduced to what's his name, Silverstein, from, you know, The Sidewalk Ends and whatever, I was like, okay, that's nice, but where are the black people? Where are the black poets? You know what I'm saying? Right. Where are the people that look like me? And then you know, get introduced to Maya Angelou and stuff like that, and then you find out that there's local people around you who do it. It is very, very, very addicting. So I've always been into it. I've been writing since I could write. Like I remember selling a poem for $5 when I was only 5 years old. So, like, yeah, poetry is everything. I dream in poetry, think in poetry. So like, even when it comes to conversations, you'll hear me hesitate a lot because I don't want to sound corny, if that makes any sense. Like, I don't want to walk around sounding like Shakespeare, like thou shalt not.
Right. But you have your own, but you definitely have your own style though. And that's what I think makes each of us as poets really, you know, good, is if you harness and just stick with your own style. Don't try to sound like anybody else or anything like that, because it's hard enough as it is to be confident and stand in front of people and recite your words. You know what I mean?
That part. Yes, that part. And no matter how long you do it, I don't care how great you are at it, the nerves still come. You know what I'm saying? Because you never really know how the audience is going to receive your message. You know your intentions when you wrote it. You know what you meant. And you don't know how people are going to take it. Because like you might write in your poem, you know, that God is real, and you might be doing this poem in front of a whole audience of atheists. So you never know how the audience is going to So your heart is always doing somersaults. But like you said, as long as you stick to your voice and you stick to what you believe is true for you, it all works out, you know.
Have you ever felt as though you took like any ridicule for being who you are in your poetry and being free and speaking your words?
Not directly. And I think that's because I'm such a nice person. So I feel like people are always in this constant state of not trying to hurt my feelings. But it was definitely like indirect shots. Like
I feel you. I hear you. Yeah, I feel you.
Like one time I performed and like I thought I did a good job. You know what I'm saying? And then like later on, I was reading reviews of it and no one actually tagged me. No one actually said my name. No one, but I knew they were talking about me because like they referenced pieces of my poem.
Right.
And like, I mean, it didn't really curve my enthusiasm though, because I was just like, well, then that means I just got to prove them wrong because they clearly don't know good poetry.
That's exactly right. Yeah, that's good, Precious. I love your drive though, and your you know, it sounds like maybe your mom is a big influence. Is she a big inspiration to you as well?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. She's definitely has been a very, very big drive when it comes to my writing. And the reason why I can say that is because when I was like 8 years old, she gave me a typewriter. Like I wanted an easy bake oven, she bought me a typewriter. When I wanted a bike, she bought me encyclopedias.
Right. I hear you.
So, that's definitely has been a major influence in terms of, like, for instance, my drive for Poets for Dinner. I will say she was definitely a major influence, like my whole family for real with that, because one of the things that I know has always brought, especially us Black people together, let's be honest, is food.
Absolutely.
If you can't get people to show up for nothing else, they're going to show up for a barbecue. They're going to show up for Thanksgiving. They're going to show up for free food. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, I just remember growing up seeing my aunts and uncles and my mom and stuff in the kitchen all together, working together to prepare this big feast for everybody, and then becoming an adult and not seeing it as often, it kind of makes you nostalgic and makes you want to fill that void.
Yeah, that's awesome, Precious. Who would you say are your I'm gonna say 3. I'm not gonna go with 5. Who would you say are your 3 favorite poets?
Ooh, all right. So this is going to be
male or female too.
This is kind of tough because it keeps changing so much. Like, I keep being exposed to such new great talent. Like, so it's kind of hard. I really, 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 really find it hard to pick. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's just so many, because and then, like, I don't want to be like a butthole and be like Dylon, like, oh, top greatest artist of all time, Dylon. But
okay, all right. I'll make it a little easier for you then. How about your favorite poet from a time, say from Maya Angelou on back? You know what I mean? Like, one of my favorites is Langston, definitely. Langston.
Okay. Definitely, yeah. Langston. All right, so I can do that. I can get with you on that. All right.
Okay,
all right, so definitely Langston Hughes. Definitely, Jesus, I just said the name like literally 10 seconds ago. August Wilson. Even though he's a playwright, he also wrote poetry, and I loved his poetry. And Edgar Allan Poe. I love Edgar Allan Poe. Like, I know a lot of his poems and stuff was dark and scary, but his imagery, I don't care what kind of poem it was. I don't even care how short it was. He was very, very, very big on making sure you saw, felt, and smelled whatever it is he was trying to convey. And I love him. Sorry.
Definitely Langston for me. I'm gonna say I love Nikki Giovanni. I really like her. I love her and Maya Angelou, but I've really started to fall in love with a lot of Nikki Giovanni. Nikki Giovanni, just her she just doesn't give a shit what nobody thinks.
Not at all.
What I mean? She just don't. And I saw her on YouTube doing a lecture to some like college students. And at the time, I was kind of like in the middle of writing something, and I was just killing time looking at different stuff, just trying to get some ideas in my head, just looking over things. And she was talking to these students about, if you don't, she was saying, us as poets, we have a responsibility to write and speak. To speak how we feel in our writing. So basically what she was saying to these kids are, if you don't say a certain thing because you feel a certain way because you may not be accepted, or if I say a certain 4 or 5 lines, I want to say it, but I'm not going to say it because I know a couple people may not think it's appropriate or whatever the case may be. She said, if you do that, you're a whore. And I can't, I swear, I looked at that thing like at least 10 times and just was listening. She was so serious about it though. Like, you know what I mean? She's like, what is the point of that? If you feel a certain way and it's in your writing, you're defeating your purpose. You know what I mean? You're like shutting your own self off is what I took from it, from what she was saying.
I definitely agree with that though, because you're doing yourself and you're doing others a disservice too, because you don't know who needs to hear your message. There's literally an ear for every message, and you blocking somebody's blessing by shortchanging them.
Right. Absolutely. Langston, her, Nikki Giovanni, and then Gil Scott Hearn is somebody who I think is
Oh,
amazing, right?
yes.
I saw he has a daughter. I forget her first name, but I saw his daughter at she was at Creative Alliance one time, and she was doing poetry, and this was before I started any of my platforms or anything. This was like at least 2 years before I started anything. And that woman, she did an hour's worth of poetry and just explaining she was and talked about her dad and stuff like that. And it was so inspiring. It was absolutely amazing. And it made me go back and really listen to him because she spoke so much about her father and how he influenced her and things of that nature. So they definitely would be some of my top three. Now, I feel what you're saying about, I'm gonna tell you something. Some of the poets that's out here now, I'm gonna just say, when I came to your event the first time, there's a bunch of amazing poets in Baltimore. Me and you both know that. But
Right.
I heard Black Chakra. That was the first time I heard that young man live. Blew me away. Him, and then there's another guy named Kenny. I can't think. I know his name is Kenny. I'm sure. He's kind of tall brother with dreads, but both of them just like they just yes, him. They were at your event and they really put it down and just made me like, damn, like this is really what I want to do. Like it really it really inspired me. So look, before I let you go, I'm gonna get you to do one more poem before we get out of here, and then give us all your information on how we can keep in contact and follow you on everything that you're doing.
All right. Okay. I'm here for it. So this next piece I'm gonna do is called "The Queen of the Bastards." It's
okay.
It's a cocky poem, but not really. It's a more like a coming of age poem. That's what I'm gonna call it. It's my coming of age poem. Okay.
Okay.
Give me your broken outsiders and rejects. A brother with a heart of gold insists with the cat-like reflex and watch how we flex. As I reflect, I can't recollect a challenge we haven't met that we ain't redirect or straight blessed yet. Because when we reset, we rise after every sunset. Call me the queen of the bastards. Go ahead and give me my throne. Watch as the last becomes first in this universe be our home. We are royal by birthright and have been restored. Given back tenfold for our losses because of what we've endured. Don't you see our crowns being placed on our crown? Heads too heavy to keep looking down. We're rising to the frequency we know we belong. And when we fall out of tune, we just write a new song. We just write out our wrongs. We just write until we right all our wrongs. We're not at war anymore. We too beautiful to fight. What was all of that really for when I want you to be present with me? At all the good places and have all the best seats. See, we kindred like soul and light, like energy unbound and being free for the night. I mean, look at what we've done while waiting. The beauty that was found in all we've been creating, promises are now being fulfilled. We did all we could and then stood still. Look at how patient we've been, how kind in our waiting. For the chance to be a part of what we've been creating, I am the queen of my mind. Of all the gems I've collected and the ones I have yet to find, I am manifesting my destiny. Given the vision that I must complete with every breath in me, I'm not beating a dead horse anymore. I mean, really, what was all of that for? I am too beautiful to be broken, too strong to be unspoken, too wise to play small, and too curious to be a know-it-all, too big to be conquerable. I rise like the sun after every nightfall and will continue to rise even after every nightfall, for I am queen after all.
Sis, I appreciate you so much. You definitely are queen. I appreciate you. I love you. I appreciate
you too, King. I love you. Thank you.
Everything that you do. I really do appreciate it. I will. I'm before I let you go, I will say, you know, I started when I did like maybe 2 of my SpitFire poetry open mic events, and then I came to one of your events for the first time. And when I left, I just couldn't stop thinking about it. And you inspired me to go back and like try to do something different with my own platform. You know what I mean? So keep doing what you're doing. You are very inspirational, sis. People need what we are doing. I'm telling you I mean this from the bottom of my heart. People need what we're doing. So don't stop what you're doing. Everyone follow this sister on Facebook, on Instagram, Precious Love Givens. Look out for Dinner for Poets. She does it every month. I will be at your event at the end of this month, sis. I promise you that. And thank you for coming on. I really appreciate you. Give your mother a big hug for me, and y'all keep making that great food and keep doing great things in the community, sis.
Ashe, thank you so very much for having me. I am so grateful for this platform. This is really dope. You are really dope. And on everything, on all social media, is Poets for Dinner, spelled grammatically correct. And if you can't find that, you can always look up Love on Somebody, because that's even easier to find, because that's our motto. So I really am grateful for the love that you show and the love that you give. Thank you for loving on me and allowing me to love on y'all.
Thank you too, sis. I appreciate you. I'll be talking to you. Stay safe out here.
You too. Peace.
All right. Okay. Wow. I told y'all this was going to be a good show. I told y'all this is going to be a good show. That's my sis, that's my sis, Precious Love Givens. Follow her, y'all. I'm telling you, follow her on Facebook, Instagram. I'm pretty sure she's on just about all of the different social media sites. So definitely follow her. Come out to her events. Look for her events at the end of each month. She does it at a couple different locations. And I'm telling you, the food alone, I'm telling you, man, and you getting this stuff for free. So you should tip when you get down there. Okay? Do that. But the food is awesome. The love is awesome. The time that the poets get to share is awesome. So you won't be disappointed when you check that out. So that is our show for tonight. Please, I appreciate all the support. I cannot keep thanking everybody who supports me. I love you guys. Be sure to go on Amazon and pick up Unusual Favor and SpitFire Poetry Shutdown Volume 1 and Volume 2. I will have Volume 2 physically by the next show. Follow What Up Baltimore on all of the social media sites. Butterfly Entertainment. Thank you to Lady J, her son Eric. I'm gonna give a shout out to everybody on the Butterfly Entertainment team. You guys check out some of the shows that's on this network. It's absolutely wonderful. Nothing but positive energy and good things for the community. All right. I'll let you guys go for the night. I don't know who I'm gonna have on for the next show, so follow me throughout the week, because who knows who it could be. Who knows who it can be, but I'll tell you this, I'm going to try my best to make sure it's a dope show like it was tonight. All right. So I love you guys. Everybody be safe out there. Wear your damn mask and pull your mask up short. Love you guys. Peace out.
I was full of sin, now it's clean. Gave me a pen to use in my battle. Now I dismantle Satan's whole castle. He came after me when I couldn't see. Took me to my knees, left me there to bleed. But the blood covered me, I still don't believe he's getting a message through a Negro like me. There must be a reason he came back for me and my enemies didn't rejoice over me. But how could this be? They still don't believe. Amongst 2 or 3, that's all that you need. Stay focused, you'll see. Got away with such speed, quick indeed the devil can be, slick in his ways, but don't be afraid. You cannot be straight, stay focused on him, that's the way that you win. We'll help a friend who's come to a bend in the road. From a toad to a frog, I got away, now I'm gone. Never to return, no ashes for burn. The sun creates burns, but hell's where you burn.